Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is John Vine, and what we're going to be talking about today is some challenges that you're going to experience when you're learning how to code and how to overcome them, right? These are things that I've experienced in my life. I've been coding for around 5 years now, and I've, drawn from my experiences, and these are just some things that I've heard that are very common among software engineers. So if you're new to the channel, what we do here is we talk about software engineering at a high level, and I try to give you guys, tips from my experiences being a software developer on how you can become a software developer as well. Whether you're a student or you're trying to switch career paths, I try and basically help you guys reach your goals. So if you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, when you're starting to learn how to code and you've picked a language, you decided, okay, I want to learn how to code, I want to become a software developer, and you start learning, reading tutorials or going through courses, and you realize, wow, I'm learning so much. You're learning like the fundamentals. So there's a lot of new stuff coming quickly, and you really have this feeling that, you're learning so much, you're making so much progress, because at the beginning you're learning the easiest stuff, right? So there's a lot of easy stuff that you're learning, like for loops, if statements, you're learning all these basics, and you feel on top of the world, right? A week goes by and you're like, oh my god, a week ago I didn't even know what an if statement was. Now I can write, if else, I can do loops, I can, print stuff, and you feel like, okay, this is definitely, this is what I should be doing, and I'm meant to be a coder. And then, as time goes on, the topics you're learning get progressively harder, and then you realize that obviously, where at the beginning you were like learning so much, and it was like, so much progress was being made, you realize that, you're making less progress. Things are getting harder. It's taking you longer to, to learn a single topic. And then, this feeling of, I'm on top of the world kind of, goes away, because obviously you're learning at a slower pace now because the things are harder. Now, if your motivation lies only in the fact that, okay, I'm doing so well, so I'm going to keep going. If the only thing that's motivating you is this like constant stream of knowledge, then it's very easy to tell, right, that it's going to be really hard to stay motivated once it seems like you're learning way less. What's going to happen is you're going to reach a plateau, and then you're going to realize that in the same time span that it used to take you to learn 3 or 4 different topics, now you can't even learn a single one. And this is when you might be getting frustrated, and this is when you have to realize that, you really have to stay disciplined instead of motivated. I like to say that, discipline would beat motivation, because you're not always motivated, but you can always try and maintain your discipline. So this time in like a software developer's life, it's a very hard obstacle to overcome. Everyone goes through it, and that's what you have to understand. Another thing that helps you get over this hump is understanding that every single programmer before you, every single programmer that's going to come after you, they all go through this same experience. And if they could do it, there's no reason why you can't either. Now, the biggest thing that I would say would help with something like this is to, when you're learning how to code, you want to make a plan. And then as you go about your plan and you learn different things, you keep kind of a record of, the things you've accomplished, the things you've worked on, the projects you've built. Let's say, you plan your next 4 months of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to build the project this week, then I'm going to learn this language this week, and then I'll spend this month doing that. When you reach the end of it and you're going to realize that, okay, let's look back on what I've achieved, you're going to see you've achieved so much. And these kind of things are really help you maintain enthusiasm when you're starting to learn how to code, right? If you can look back a couple of months and see that, for example, you've built 5 side projects, you've gone through a number of courses, you've read that book you wanted to read, and that you've really made a lot of progress, and that gives you a lot of motivation, right? Now, this number can be anything. I'm just saying random numbers. Like, don't think that if you have less or more, that whatever. But keeping a record and being able to reflect on what you've achieved is definitely a way to maintain your motivation. Now, another thing that new software developers are going to realize as you're learning how to code, you're going to realize that it's a very independent journey, right? It's very lonely at times, and you're gonna realize that, okay, you're trying to learn how to code. You're going through this experience by yourself. If you're not like in college or in a boot camp or something like that, especially if you're teaching yourself, you're going to realize that you're alone, and there's not a lot of help that you could use. There's not like a mentor that you have to ask for, or like a senior developer that you would otherwise have at a job, for example. You're going to see that, okay, you have to use different venues to foster some sort of community that you can be a part of, and ask for help and stuff like that. And what I would recommend is finding Facebook groups. There's a ton of Facebook groups out there of people learning how to code. I'm part of several, and people are always posting project ideas. They're posting if they have a bug in their code, they post it and they ask for help. This is similar to things like Stack Overflow that I'm sure all of you guys are aware of. having this online community, you know, being part of a forum or a Facebook group, or, you know, you can find a Discord chat that there's tons of these Discord chats where people are commenting and talking about code and, you know, asking for advice. If you can find a community that you can become a part of, that'll keep you motivated and really, like, you know, you'll have people to bounce ideas off of, to, you know, help you solve problems so that your experience is less frustrating. Something like that can be a lot of help. You know, one of the things that got me through my degree and, you know, really helped me succeed was that I would study with friends, we'd collaborate together, and we'd really, you know, it'd be like a group experience. You weren't alone. You know that if you were stuck on something, you could ask for help, and that you were there to help others. And it was really a great team experience that, you know, I don't think I would have enjoyed as much if I was just alone and I didn't have my friends around me, right? You know, they say like misery loves company, whatever. And, you know, at times during my degree, there was definitely, you know, that kind of misery, and it definitely loved the company. So like really finding a group that you can work with, a community online. I would recommend online because it's kind of harder in person. I don't know how I would go about if I was teaching myself how to code and didn't know anyone who coded. I don't know how I would really go about finding someone in person. Maybe you can. Maybe you know someone that you can talk to, then yeah, for sure go for it. But I feel like a more relevant avenue could be just online, finding, you know, people online that you could talk to. So guys, yeah, really try to track your progress and try to be able to, you know, reflect on what you've achieved in the past. I think that's a great way to, you know, overcome this obstacle that you're inevitably going to go through. I think finding a community online that you can be a part of is also a very, you know, it's not that hard. It's not as hard as people would think, you know, but it's very beneficial. And just know that, you know, if you keep working, if you stay motivated, and you do it long enough, you're going to succeed. And so let that be your motivation, guys. Like, just don't give up, keep working, and you're going to succeed eventually. There's no reason why you can't. And so with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you like the content, as always, feel free to like and subscribe. If you think there's anything that I've missed, feel free to leave a comment below if there's anything you disagree with, or, you know, if there's anything you just want to add to the conversation. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.